Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So today we got news about the Redskins being front runners for James Bradberry. Also got some Byron Jones news and some Amari Cooper news. So if you guys are new, subscribe for Redskins and NFL content. So let's get into it. So Redskins today reported, he said, for the most part, sources expect free agent James Bradberry to land in Washington, according to a report from Ralph. He reports, I think, on the Jets and someone else, and the Jets are targeting Bradberry, but he said that most likely he will end up in Washington. He is looking for about $15 million. Hope that's what he wants, but not a lot of teams are going to give him that. So if we, I think if we offer him around $13 million, he will accept that. And if you really think about that, $13 million in per year, it'll be around the same this year, but like next year, since the cap's going up to $240 million, that'll really be around $10 million a year. And for an above a good cornerback, it'll that's a good deal. So yeah, I would say there's a 60% chance we land him. There's a few other spots that could possibly go to. He could go to the Eagles, maybe the Jets or the Giants. Those are really the four teams, but there's been over a dozen teams that have interest in him. But most likely it'll be Washington. And if we don't get James Bradberry, it'll most likely if the Eagles get Bradberry, then we'll most likely make a run for Byron Jones. That he also reported. This guy also reported that we have interest in Byron Jones if it doesn't work out. He reported that a couple of days ago. So I think Byron Jones is our second option just because he didn't play for Ron Rivera, so he hasn't like played under his system, and it's going to take a while for him to get used to it. But I do think that Bradberry would be a good move, and so would Byron Jones for the right price. 15 is the max I'm giving. I think 13 would be ideal because, like I said, it'll really be around 10 million in the next couple of years. But yeah, so also I'll actually in a couple of minutes I'm going to be comparing Bradberry to Byron Jones, and it's pretty cool. So stay tuned for that. But so some other small news. John Keim reported that Washington is hopeful to re-sign Eric Flowers for $6 to $9 million per year. If we can get him to that around that $6-7 million, that would be perfect. I would love that. He was a great guard last year, and maybe we can throw in some incentives where like his base salary is around 6 mil, and it could go up to like 8 or 9 if he plays enough games and doesn't allow a certain amount of sacks. I think that would be good. He also reported it was reported that Chris Thompson is not expected back, which we do know, and Washington could possibly make a surprise run at Kenyon Drake, which I would not want at all. He's expecting $10 million per year. But that's pretty much the news. Besides that, it's really just news about Trent Williams and like him wanting how much money he wants, which he wants to be the highest paid guard or tackle in the league. So yeah, now I'm showing you guys what James Bradberry's advanced stats are. So last season, he when quarterbacks threw against him or threw to him, they were 60%. They had 60% completion, which is below average. But the year before, he was 44% completion, which is a lot better. But this year, they targeted him a lot less. They targeted him 16 times less. Sorry about that. They targeted him a lot less, and he allowed 644 yards this year, about 11 yards per completion, and 6 yards per target, and only allowed one touchdown, which is very good. And the passer rating of quarterbacks when throwing to him is 70. So yeah, and also of course 3 interceptions. The only thing that kind of concerns me is this stat right here. His missed tackled percentage is 12%, so that means 1 in every 10 tackles he's gonna miss it. But I really think that was just an inconsistent year because the year before he had 5%. So I think I'm fine with that. And then let's compare him to Byron Jones. So Byron Jones had 53% completion percentage against him, so did have a little bit better than Bradberry had about 50. Bradberry had about 59, so that's a 6% difference. And he had a lot less yards thrown against him, but that's also because he was thrown to only 34 times. So that means he's only thrown to 2 times per season or 2 times per game, which is crazy. But his quarterback rating when throwing against him was significantly higher than Bradberry's, 87, and touchdowns. He allowed 2 more touchdowns than Bradberry, and his tackling is good. So they're very similar. And then I would think that just because Bradberry played under Ron Rivera, that kind of gives him an edge for like the first few years, or at least the first year. Byron Jones is 27, and Bradberry is also almost 27, so they're pretty close in age. Bradberry's a little younger, which would be good. Also, I know you guys don't really care that much, but the Chargers and Panthers are in discussions on a trade that would send Russell Okung to Carolina. That would literally just popped up on my feed right now. Just want to let you guys know. But yeah, I know that was off topic, but I think Bradberry is definitely he's like borderline elite cornerback. We'll see. He like 59% completion percentage. Like if you're throwing that as a quarterback through a full season, that's pretty bad. And I did the math. He's allowing about 40 yards per game, which is not bad at all. And if you think about it, he's 40 yards a game against because he was the best corner. So 40 yards a game against the best receivers in the NFL is pretty dang good. He played against, think about it, Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Julio Jones. So every year, twice a year, each of them, or not the Bucks, but he played the Bucks twice. So 6 games a year against one of the best receivers in the NFL each time you play against them is pretty good. The Cowboys really in our division we don't have too many very good receivers. You got Terry McLaurin, and then on our team, and then on the Giants, you really don't have anyone too special. Maybe Darius Slayton, you could say, but no elite receivers in the NFC East besides Terry McLaurin, and he's not necessarily elite yet. He will be though. He will. But so yeah, tell me what you guys think. I think they're pretty even. I think if I can get Bradberry for $1 million or $2 million less, I would definitely want Bradberry. If they're around the same price, it'll be tough. Just Bradberry is gonna have the upper hand for a little bit just because he played under Ron Rivera for his whole career until the end of last season. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash the like button, turn on those notifications, and yeah, let me know who would you rather have. And I forgot to say, if I didn't say already, about the Amari Cooper news. The Redskins are planning on pursuing Amari Cooper. A lot of Alabama players have tried to recruit him, so I think he's going to ultimately stay in Dallas. But if we can run up the price on Amari Cooper, like let's say we offer him like 14 mil, 15 mil a year, and that's what the Cowboys were going to offer, and they end up having to offer like 16, 17 mil a year, I think that would be great. But I really don't want to. He's going to want more than that, and with our holes all around, there's no reason to get him. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.